you never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time it hit you, you're not surprised.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. No tagline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a special day today. Today being October 18th, 2018. 10/18/18, I know. We have a rather interesting situation. We have a new intern who came in and wanted to, kind of cut his teeth on something. So we're gonna go through. He has, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has like 5 or 6 small segments and talking about a variety of subjects. And I thought we'd give him a shot. Now, if this is something that people like, maybe we'll do a few more of these in the future. And maybe if anybody outside of GTG Networking Productions wants to have a small segment, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, I guess, and send that in and we put it on the show, full credit goes to you because obviously it's your voice and it'd be your research. Maybe we can do that in the future. We'll see. I have no clue. I'm on the fence about this kid. I asked for the usual and he came back with, what did he bring back? Vanilla bean strawberry swirl cappuccino. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was good as fuck. But that's not what we asked for. We are pumpkin spice all the way around here. Even though that shit was good as hell. That shit was really, 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 really good. But in any case, we'll go ahead. Let's go into the kid's broadcast and see what's that? Oh, we have segments of his interview? Oh, this shit's gonna be funny. All right, so we're gonna play the kid's interview, at least a little bit of it, and then we'll go into his broadcast. No embarrassment here. It's really funny. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Networking Productions. The actual video itself, the actual broadcast will follow it, and we will be going over one of our favorites, Snort, Burnell, Dspgaming. People took my Patreon for granted, and King Tut is back. You guys kind of know what my feeling is about the whole Patreon thing, but we'll talk about that when we get to that broadcast. And Tut being back is whatever it is. Let's go ahead and get into this video. You can call him Mini Pooch. Be honest with you, like I said, I would probably need nothing more than 3 to 5 minutes. I think it'd probably be interesting, maybe, sorta. Originally, okay, kid, you're my last applicant for the day. I'm super tired, and I have to be completely and totally honest with you. Are you sure you're up for this? Because we're hated. We are fucking hated on YouTube amongst a bunch of different people, even on people on the side that we're on, so to speak. Do you really want to get into this? First things foremost, keep all the professionalism and all that stuff, keep that at home. We're not here for that. The motto here is always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. That's what we do here. So if you want to have a level of professionalism, that's all on you, but it's not required. You know what I mean? So you sure you're up for this? You sure you really want to do this? What is this? What is your name anyway? Like, what exactly? What's your idea? Pitch it to me, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. Because I got some cappuccino in the break room waiting for me, and I really like to get to it. So give me your story, kid. What's your idea? What is it that you want to add to GTG Networking Productions, an affiliate with Goutopia Productions and the newly acquired Davetopia Group? Well, GTG, my pitch is to go ahead and have a small news segment every once in a while where I just talk about things that either happen in the comments section or on Twitter. Mainly, those are my only two mediums. Those are my only real thoughts, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, I would probably need nothing more than 3 to 5 minutes. I think it'd probably be interesting. Maybe, sort of. Originally, you used to have Twitter stuff in your videos all the time, and I just like to put a voice, I guess, to that. It would be brief, and I think it would actually be rather interesting. I might even have a small Keemstar type tone to my voice, but it probably wouldn't be exactly that. I think it'd be worthwhile. And though it's supposed to be unprofessional, and this is all supposed to be just something we do for kicks, I think it would be just a nice little segment, a change of pace, if you will. All right, kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you the shot just like everybody else. I never really understood why anybody would want to work for me, but it is what it is. All right, kid. So how many segments are you talking about having per show and whatnot? Because we have a show coming up later where Phil was taking shots at Tevin. YouTube went down. There are some stuff on Twitter that seems pretty interesting. I'll put you to work right away if you really want to try it. It's all on you, man. The applicants before you, I didn't push them into it. They knew what the risk was. If you really want the job, then I'll put you on. Most definitely. What's your first story? Pitch something to me. Well, GTG, my first story will actually be about Review Tech USA, and that an individual on Twitter going by the name of not Review Tech USA at Junk Media Tweets says that he can prove that he actually flagged down Ann Doyle and has a screenshot that must have been taken from one of Review Tech USA's live streams going over it. I think it's compelling. And even if it's a fake, it's still an entertaining fake. We're not professional, so, you know, what's the big deal if we throw a little bit of something out there that's already circulating around Twitter anyway? You can just say it's alleged. It's a safe way of basically protecting yourself. I think that would be a good start, and I would only need a few minutes for it, and then people make of it what they will. You've always allowed people to have free thought. You've always allowed people to come into your comment section for, you know, good or bad and speak what they want to say, something that DSP doesn't do. And despite you saying that you're being hated, I think a lot of people at least respect you, even if they don't like the content. I think this would be just a nice addition every once in a while, because, you know, I'm not going to do this every day. All right, kid, if this is what you want, man, the show is yours. You know what I'm saying? You can have the segment. You have an idea for a name? You know what you want to call it? You know, anything like that? You need to have something. It could be as cringy as you want, but you need to have something. You got to have something to start this all off with. I do, and I'm ready right now if you'll allow me to do it. Go ahead, kid. You know what I'm saying? Help yourself. The job is yours, man. Congratulations. I guess we'll see you for your first broadcast and whatnot. Thank you, GTG. You won't regret this. I very much appreciate it. When does that start, by the way? Like, how soon am I going into this? Right now, kid. It's lights, camera, action. Get over there to your fucking news desk and make that shit happen. Thank you, GTG, for this opportunity. And welcome to What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. For my very first news report, I suppose, we are here on Twitter with Not Review Tech USA at Junk Media Tweets. And he says that he has proof that Rich was lying about the flagging of Ann Doyle. Ann Doyle was considered one of the top people in the Review Tech USA detractor communities who had their channel taken down, I think earlier in the year, essentially. It was struck to the point where they had to basically step away for about 3 months or so until all of the copyright strikes and everything basically wore out. In any case, someone has provided a screenshot of what looks like Rich from Review Tech USA's actual flagging history, and in turn, Ann Doyle is on it. Actually, Ann Doyle's on it a few times. The quality of the actual picture itself is not the best, but I think it's enough to go ahead and pose the argument that this individual is putting out there, that Rich has lied. Now, interestingly enough, now that GTG is putting something else in front of me here. Okay, so apparently Rich from Review Tech USA and Memology 101 went on a show with Andy Worski, talking about their whole situation with better health and basically coming to terms. So I guess you could say that Memology 101 and Rich from Review Tech USA, though they may not be friends, at least have a type of mutual respect for each other. That does not necessarily mean that Memology 101 is going to stop making videos on Rich. It just means that they both know where each one of them are coming from. And there is a bit of controversy as it comes to Andy Worski with the alleged accusal of talking to an underage girl. I think most people are citing that he didn't necessarily know. We don't have a lot of details on it, but ladies and gentlemen, just take it as alleged until more proof has been provided. In any case, Review Tech comes off of that situation, which one would consider to be positive, him working things out with Memology 101, to now coming to this, being exposed for actually flagging down Ann Doyle, especially since he vehemently claimed that he never really did it. It wasn't him. He was never at fault. What do you guys make of it? You guys go ahead, come to your own conclusion. You can also go to Junk Media Tweets on Twitter, and you can see it in the timeline. There are some people that have been commenting on it, and you can kind of come to your conclusion. This is What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. Do I have the job?
Olive branch out.
All right, so let me jump in. So, like I said, the pup is a little, he's a little sharp around the edges, but he did all right. So let's elaborate on that just a little bit. So, Junk Media Tweets actually provide us the link to Andy Worski's stream where he actually shows the footage. You're going to see a bit of this right now. Now, essentially, what you saw was similar. I won't say the same. Was similar to what ended up happening to Monday Matt, the Quarry King, except for instead of sorry, god damn it, Mr. Medicare and the rest of those guys bending Monday Matt over and taking turns, you see just Keemstar doing it. Apparently, Review Tech USA really wanted Keemstar off of his ass and was willing to show his ass to do so. Now, some of you are probably like, come on, GTG, you're being too hard on the guy. I'm not. Because Review Tech USA said in a live stream only a few weeks ago that it wasn't anybody's business. He wasn't going to show nobody's shit. It's his channel. He flagged down the videos that he needed to flag down, and so on and so forth. He also has said that he wasn't the one who flagged down Ann Doyle. But in this video right here, you're going to hear some shit that's going to make you wonder. So we're not so for our young intern Diggs there, we're gonna help follow up on some of his stories if we can and whatnot, and hopefully this Worski thing will help you out. As it pertains to Andy Worski and that whole young underage girl thing, it is very much alleged, but it looks like somebody pulling some behind the scenes bullshit to try to discredit Andy, being that he's come back into the mix and he's doing pretty well for himself and he's building himself back up. There's some people that have some issue with him or something along those lines. Information's still getting worked out, but it seems like it's not the case. It's not what, initially what was reported. Andy didn't knowingly talk to some chick who was a minor, and that might have been bullshit anyway. Might have been catfishing for all we know. So there you go on that. But keep all of that with with a grain of salt. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video itself.
Out there, if you show your flag history.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so by the way, this is the Andy Worski show with his co-host. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's a pretty funny guy. And then you have Memology 101, who eventually came on to the show, Review Tech USA, and Keemstar. The first part, we didn't catch all of it, but essentially what happened was Keemstar comes on, and because Review Tech USA wants to make peace. He wants to let all the animosity go. Keem says he would do it if he shows his flagging history, and Rich agrees to do so. Let's continue.
All right, cool. Can I stream it to you so you don't think I'm? Yeah, sure. Okay, what we'll do is we'll do a hangout, right, Geek? That's probably the best way. I have 13 from since I made this channel over almost a decade ago.
So you flagged 13 videos
since I had the channel since 2008. I started active on it in 2000.
About you? Are any of the videos about you?
Of course. What the hell would they be about? If they're about me, you'll see what they are. Here. Okay. All right. Go.
I'm getting the Hangout setups.
All right. So he's doing a Hangout. Link. Google Hangouts that much, to be honest with you. Okay. Dude, you click the cog up there. Okay, I'm clicking the cog. And then you could show your desktop or whatever. Make sure you don't have any porn open. I have no porn open, unfortunately. All right.
What's your porn of choice? Like, what's the category you're always first to click on?
Porn of choice? Midget porn.
Midget?
Yeah, I can see that. I always thought you were a midget guy. Yeah.
There is a pretty hot midget out there. Outgoing
video.
Video, microphone, speakers. It's not saying it.
Wait, hang on. Click. Wait, where the fuck? Oh, sorry, the 3 dots. Yeah, the 3 dots. My bad. My bad. There you go.
All right, so share screen.
Please tell me his computer just explodes when he does this. Like it just doesn't.
All right, this is the screen to share. Are you?
You
are screen.
Oh, Boomer can't figure out Hangouts, but he could give us like
fuck,
every
guys. Hang on.
I'm showing you.
Wait, listen. He showed the fucking link to the Hangout. So someone's gonna jump in here and put on some fucking porn or some shit.
Just
here. Look at it real quick. It's short. Look at it here.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Here it is. I'm going slow.
There we go.
There is
information about this vehicle.
Wait.
Video is not available.
So yeah, some were deleted. See when they're deleted.
Some were deleted.
Right,
those are probably from like 5 fucking years ago.
All right. So Review Tech sexually assaulted someone. Dspgaming.
Gee, I wonder why I flagged that down. I don't know.
Look at the name. E-begging. Manipulates and damage control response video.
Review Tech, who is Anna Doyle? I see people mentioning her in the chat.
That is a dude who has put out my personal information.
Whose name
put out
Anna?
and he
terrible man.
And honestly, I wasn't even though I did flag him once, I wasn't even the one who got his channel taken down. There was other people that flagged the shit him without me saying to flag him, by the way. And that's it. That's my flagging history. So Keem, can we kiss now?
Okay, so like I said, we go from a person who vehemently said that I'm not going to show my flagging history. It's nobody's business. He knew that when Monday Matt got exposed that this was going to be the new thing on YouTube and everybody was going to go after everybody and so on and so forth, to now bowing down to Keemstar and showing his flagging history. Thinking that Keemstar would want, even though him and Keemstar made amends, so to speak, he thought that that would paint him in a good light in front of Keemstar, when in actuality it just makes him look weak. And you'll see that as the video goes later on, goes onwards. Another thing though is about what he said about Ann Doyle, how he said that, yes, he flagged down a video, but he wasn't the one that had the channel taken down. That was other people. But then again, who's to say he didn't make some of this shit go away before coming onto the show anyway? Or how long he's been periodically erasing some of this shit off of his flag history. Or at least, making it go away for whatever reason. So who knows what he's actually done and hasn't done. If the Quarry King opened up Pandora's box, then you know that some of this shit can be manipulated, and or you can go back and, let go of some of these flaggings. Allegedly, anyway. So how much can you really trust him? Now, another thing I'd like to point out to you is Monday Matt, Review Tech USA, DSP, Wings of Redemption. All people who are confirmed, Low Tier God, all confirmed for flagging down videos. And now larger YouTubers are doing it too. I mean, bigger people than Review Tech USA. This is not something that just came about. People have been doing this for a long ass time. And it's going to probably continue to happen. Review Tech USA will continue to do this. When you're that big, I guess, physically as well as channel-wise, I guess this is your only line of defense. This really is. And you think by putting all this out here proves anything, it just makes you look like a bigger asshole than everybody already thought you were. The act is already done, so now people are going to criticize you over it. This is what you asked for. Let's continue.
I mean, at the end of the day, anyone that criticizes you, you just flag their video.
That's not, that's you know how many videos are made on me. Stop it. You know it. And you thought that I wasn't going to show
way worse videos made on me. I've never flagged a video. Never.
Wait, Memology is in here? Hey,
no, he's not.
The Memology is in the chat, but Rich conceded to the video he made about you, dude. So he did.
The way I see it is Rich shouldn't have an opinion on anybody. Because all these people, all these videos right there are opinions on him, and he tried to silence.
That's not true. Well, the sexual assault one. I mean, come
on, Keem. That's not.
You're a goddamn. Hold up. You're a goddamn YouTuber, and you can't defend yourself with your own voice.
I defend myself all the time. You know how many videos are made on me, Keem? Come on, stop. Listen to me.
Defend yourself. Be a man and defend yourself. With
I defend myself. Listen to me. Listen to me. And I've manned up and owned up to the mistakes I've made with you. And I'm even showing you this here without any hesitation. You said before that you would offer an olive branch, which I'm sure you did it to bait me to show this to you, which I knew I had nothing to hide, so I didn't care. But here, I know I made mistakes with you in the past. And I've admitted to them even before this. This isn't like breaking news on Andy Worski's stream. Okay? You've made mistakes too, and you've talked about them. I've owned up to mine. You've owned up to yours. Let's move on.
Rich, most of the shit that I got from you came under, like, in the year 2016 when the whole internet hated me and everybody thought my career was over.
No,
and as soon as I regained, my channel, and now you want to be sorry.
No, I'm not like that. I'm not like that either. There's popular people.
Now, think about what Keemstar just said to Review Tech USA, and then jump back to what Monday Matt had said to Jim, to Mr. Medicare or Jim and the rest of those guys on that podcast, saying, I'm only, about why are you saying sorry now and this, that, and third, because we caught you red-handed. No, it's not like that. I just got a lot going on. I'll get better. I'll be better. I just need some time, guys. I need some time. It sounds like the same regurgitated excuse, just, tied up a little bit. And remember, this is Mr. Review Tech USA, who watches everybody and pays attention to everybody's mistakes and makes sure that he doesn't make the same mistakes they do. Food for thought. Let's continue.
I can't stand.
Rich, real quick, can you refresh your page?
If I was uploading videos and they were getting 20,000 views, you wouldn't be apologizing to me right now.
No, that's not true. What are you talking about? It's absolutely not true. What'd you say? I'm sorry?
Oh, refresh the report history page because people are wondering if you might be hacking it or just editing it.
Here. Go ahead. Right here.
Okay, yeah, so it is real.
Wait.
It is real.
And we have one more person who's gonna hop on down. Let's see. So Memology, but you already retracted like what you said on that video, and after we explained everything that happened with Philip DeFranco, you did say that's fucked up and we'll make a video on it.
Yeah, and I didn't know about that at that time. If I knew about that, obviously I would have went into that video with a different approach.
Yeah. It definitely is.
I would have.
Let me give you guys a little bit of context on that. So this initially started by either Memology 101 making a video, or it was a segment within one of his Better Health videos about Review Tech USA coming out and defending Paulie D or Phil DeFranco. It might have been a separate video, and then Keemstar, being Keemstar, reacted and made a video on his own. The problem is Review Tech didn't have all of the facts, so it took other bigger people who came out to defend Memology 101 and present the facts to Review Tech USA, which were already readily available. All he had to do was look, and to finally straighten his ass out and to make him want to apologize. Oh, I didn't have all the information at the time. Oh, this, oh, that. What the fuck do you do all day? How do you not have this? It's not like you're not you're a lot like DSP. You don't fucking have a job. This is what you do. This is your job. So why was it that you were so quick to jump on the Paulie D bandwagon? Did you think you were going to suck his dick and get some extra subs out of it? Did you think Paulie D was going to, Paul DeFranco or Phil DeFranco was going to come out of nowhere and be like, Philly DeFranco, sorry. You thought he was going to just come up out of nowhere and be like, oh, thank you, Review Tech USA, and give you a shitload of subs out of it? You obviously had arterial motives. You got slapped, and now you're sitting here saying that, oh, I apologize, this, that, and the third. Why didn't you just take a little bit of time to look it up? That's what your job is. You report on tech news. You don't come across as the most tech savvy here, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully on the hardware end, you're a little bit better about it. But why didn't you just take a few minutes to do it? You took enough time to get on video and do it. And the reason why is because you knew that your channel was bigger than Memology, so you thought you could beat him out. That's until Phil DeFranco ended up tucking his tail and running, doing a Twitter post and then running off to the hills. Didn't make a video saying he was sorry or dissing himself or anything of that. He just tucked his tails and ran. And for good reason, because now it's not about Better Health anymore, which I've already said that briefly once or twice. What Andy Worski had brought up about a week or two ago is the real interesting shit. It's that whole thing about people who work for Better Health are linked to other shit. And then all that shit is linked to Paulie D's main company. And then what's going on with the back end of that shit? That's the shit that people need to deep dive in. The whole thing about fucking Better Health is just a bunch of fucking YouTubers who were trying to get some extra money on the side and didn't care how they did it. That's it. Apparently, mental health is just another thing. It's just another thing that can be exploited just like anything else. And it's similar to how Drake ended up going after Kid Cudi and using his mental illness as a way to manipulating him in a diss. And people in the hip hop community were like, "What the fuck is this? You're supposed to be the greatest rapper of my time, and yet you make fun of mental illness? Well, then what does it take for a YouTuber to go ahead and exploit that too?" And why would anybody be surprised that Phil DeFranco wouldn't be behind some type of big ass scheme like that? He's already getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from his fucking Patreon to start this news network, which looks like it's actually some type of agency, whether it's a sponsorship agency or whatever the case may be. It's obvious that he's the middleman between the big companies and the consumers or the people who want sponsorships or whatever the case may be. And that's a lucrative business. He probably wasn't expecting this all to come out, but certainly that looks like what it all was about. And for all these bigger YouTubers who are jumping on the bandwagon trying to help Philly D, maybe you guys really should have looked at what was going on first. Strength isn't always with numbers. The truth at times will win out. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and continue.
So, Keemster, I don't know if you're still here. If you're not, whatever.
No, I am. You just shouldn't make videos.
Thank you. You know, okay. It is what it is, man.
Mnemology's here. Hello? Yo. Hello.
All right, so I can shut this down now.
Wait, hang on. He's in here. Hang on, Mnemology. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, GTG. Welcome to What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. Wait a second. What? Wait, it's only my first day! Tell him he'll get his segment back. Give me just a second. Sorry, guys. I need to cut in on this for a minute because this is actually rather important. This shit was savage. First off and foremost, shouts out to Ghostly Wins. I got love for you. God damn. Okay, so in the comment section of the last video, I think this was the last broadcast, Ghostly Win and someone who is either King Tut or who is alleged to be King Tut was commenting in the comment section. They were kind of talking amongst themselves initially. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because I'll have it on screen. You can check it out yourself. But this was savage. To sum up at least a part of it, GW was basically like, why are you allowing yourself to be manipulated by Phil? Why are you essentially allowing yourself to be a slave? What's the point of what you're doing? Are you trolling? Is this you trying to be an attention whore? Whose side are you really on? And if you, whatever side you need to pick, you need to actually stay there. It's poetry in fucking motion. It is absolutely beautiful. To such an extent that it's been a while since I've seen something like this. It's very well played. It's very well timed. And like I said, whether this is the real King Tut or not, I don't know. I really don't. But if you, King Tut, are interested in actually talking to a group of people and giving your side of the story on why you've decided to actually come back, I can put you in contact. If not, you can find them on your own. It's really easy. But I can put you in contact with James the Lesser Express Lane and the Jackal's Lair, and you can go on their podcast with the rest of the fellas and actually talk to them, and you can actually express your opinion. Because to be honest, even if you're not the real King Tut, the ass whooping that was given right here, someone needs to answer for it. Someone needs to answer for it. And even more so, I'm going to just throw this out here. If Ghostly Win was interested in going on that show and you guys could actually debate, I would love to see that. I am cool with that. I feel that. So that's just something to think about. Like I said, you guys are going to see all of this on screen. It's absolutely amazing, to say the very least. But how it got closed off, which was done in another comment, was, I thought, even more beautiful. I'm gonna basically, let's see if I can find it. If I can't find it, I'll try to. I think I can remember most of it. Okay, I think it goes something like this. I also like the fact that you were liking up your own comments and running to DSP and informing on people so he can fill up his ban list. And then, oh my God, Oh, can anybody find it? Okay, and you're already a gout-minded slave. It's disgusting. Take these L's before Swaggins and the world bans you and removes your whore ass from the internet. God damn, that shit was beautiful. God damn, that shit was beautiful. Even after losing YouTube for a few hours last night, this makes up for it. This makes up for it. Oh my god, it really do. Ghostly wins. I got love for you. I got love for you all day. I got love for you. That was delicious. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, if you're interested, Ghostly wins in talking to James the Lesser or the Jackal's Lair, going on their podcast to kind of talk about what your feeling is of all of this. If you want to, you know what I'm saying? Obviously that can be made happen. That can happen at any given time. You know what I'm saying? However you feel. To King Tut, whether the real one or the fake one, whatever. If you have something to say and expressing your feelings on why exactly you left and then you coming back and so on and so forth, you can also talk to those guys. I think it'd be an absolutely entertaining show. If the two of you guys even want to debate, if the two of you individuals want to debate and whatnot, I'd certainly love to see that. Let's make that happen. All right, get the intern back in here so he can have his show back. Oh, thank you, GTG. Are you gonna pull me off again, or can I actually like have my segment? Well, is my segment really already over? But this was What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. What do you mean stop acting so down about it? Oh, I get 2 more segments after this? Oh, well, I guess I have nothing to complain about. I knew I was going to like working for you, GTG.
Me and the boy AI got more in common than just balling and rhyming. Get it? More in common. I came in your Bentley back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. Here, nigga, the gloves is all, the love is done. It's whatever, whenever, however, nigga.
Thank you, GTG. Welcome to What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. This next story was brought to us by a Timothy Crosby that wanted to know what was the history between Darkside Phil and Almighty Tevin. What's that, GTG? Praise be Almighty? That's the tagline? Okay, praise be Almighty. I'm new here. It's my first day. In any case, apparently it started off with constructive criticism. At least this is my understanding. I only had like 20 minutes to kind of gloss over this. Please forgive me. But essentially this started over some criticism, just some constructive criticism over the game of Bloodborne. This goes back 3 years. And basically what Phil was doing, to my particular understanding, is that he was basically grinding off screen, buffing up his character, and then when he went back to do the playthroughs, he would just beast everything. And people had liberties with it. They were basically like, this is bullshit. It's not fun. You just going through and just destroying everything. There's no progression. There's no struggle. No one sees any of his achievements or him advancing. At least not in a natural, organic sort of way. Apparently that's a new keyword amongst Phil. And people had something to say about it. Tevin made a video about it, and he did that because he couldn't reach Phil any other way. All the other avenues were cut off to him, and this was the best way of going about it. It started off with a rant video, and then Phil did a response to that video, so Tevin made another one. If you guys are interested, GTG said he's more than willing to go over and do a video covering all of it. In any case, that's essentially how it started, and it's gone on since then. Is there anything else that you need me to add, GTG? No? Alright, great. What's that? Yeah, pumpkin spice cappuccino. I picked it up. Okay, great. So you're gonna make me one? Oh, that's right, you're my boss. Sorry about that, boss. I'll get to making that, I'll get to making those right away. You damn right you're gonna get to making it right away. Shh. It's like inviting somebody into your doghouse then and wipe their feet. Jesus Christ. Kid did alright though. But yeah, that's essentially where it started. Because Tevin's history with Phil, at least from a fan standpoint, is Tevin used to watch a lot of his videos, you know, back then. I mean, obviously, from a playthrough standpoint, some of his fighting game stuff. And then Tevin took a hiatus away from YouTube, and then when he came back, he was watching some people, and he was like, oh shit, Darkside Phil. Maybe Darkside Phil should have over 1 million subs. And he didn't. And he didn't. And as Tevin started to watch stuff closer, this whole Bloodborne situation was just blown the fuck out of hand. You're sitting there grinding, sitting there basically overstocking a character and whatnot, because he's grinding him all to hell on his own time, making him crazy overpowered, and then just one or two shotting everybody. You'll see it in the Tevin videos. If you guys want me to go over it, the 2 videos, it's probably about an hour between the 2 of them. I'll go over it. And this right here is Young Tevin, and we can go over it. If you guys want to go over to the video itself, I will, if I remember to, I'll put the link in the description. But it's on Tevin's second channel. I think he calls it Stream Archives now. But it's a great channel. You find a lot of vintage Tevin stuff over there. But in any case, I can go over there later on, and I'll find the links for you for both these videos. If you guys want to see me go over it later, so be it. If you guys want to just watch it on your own, by all means, go ahead. I might do a video on it anyway, but it's some pretty good insight into what Tevin was thinking at the time, and I feel personally Tevin was way more optimistic on the changes Phil needed to make. And they're small changes, but more importantly, you get to see the DSP from 3 years ago, and you see how much of a fuck up he is then, and you see why he's a fuck up now. Hence the reason why over here on the network we're gonna go year by year, going back and deep diving into his shit, because not much changed, ladies and gentlemen. And by gradually going through and showing all of you that, you'll see exactly what I mean. At least that's my mindset. But yeah, kid did pretty good this time around. He really did, except for he asked me to go ahead and make him a cappuccino, even though I did it anyway. But that's not the point, okay? It's all love here. But you don't ask your boss on the first day to make you a cappuccino. Fuck. Let's get to the next broadcast. This was What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. I was just joking, though. It's no big deal. Jeez, don't bark at me! Thank you, GTG. Welcome to What's the Digs? My name is Diggs. We have another story provided to us from Twitter. The GoutSlayer, also known as the King of Crybabies, presents us with an absolutely funny picture of Phil causing the downfall of YouTube. How did this happen? Well, on October 16th of 2018, YouTube was down for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours for most people. Now, some people had different levels of access. Some people were able to still watch their favorite streamers, even though they couldn't actually see what was going on, but they did have audio. Some people who were in the middle of uploading, GTG being an example, he was super salty about that on Twitter yesterday, which was absolutely hilarious. Don't fire me, boss. Had expressed their opinions in what was going on. Some people thought it was a Russian attack. Some people thought someone spilled some coffee somewhere. Some people thought that It's a Gundam actually did it actually ended up causing this in the process of getting his silver play button. Nobody really knows. In any case, some word ends up getting back to Phil on Twitch. And on his personal hug box, someone mentions to him that, hey Phil, the guy who usually restreams your streams recently was taken down, as well as the website. And Phil goes into Phil's usual gloating. That will be at the end of my report. But when it came back up, Almighty Tevin, praise, what's the tagline for him? Praise be Almighty. I like that. That sounds good. Praise be Almighty did return and finished off the last of the stream. But Phil did gloat, and his gloating will be met with repercussions amongst the detractor circles. I'm sure it will. In any case, it was a funny little situation, a minor setback, but nothing too critical. Like I said, the soundbite, which is about 22 minutes, will follow after this. My name is Diggs, and this is What's the Digs? Back to you, GTG.
You know, and go from there. What's hilarious is that someone just said, detractors cannot restream DSP. Well, that's actually true, because the person who also always restreams all my shit, he can't restream because the fucking website doesn't work. So, neener. Maybe if you were an idiot who got banned from Twitch, you'd be able to stream. But, oh well, that's what you get for being a negative asshole. You know, and go from there. What's hilarious is that someone just...
I'm playing this again because I want you to hear what this nut said. Now, this is the same guy who ended up losing his channel for about 20 days or so, and every day he bitched and complained and cried and acted like it was damn near the end of the world for him. Just saying. Now, keep in mind, hours and days are two separate things, but I just want to put the point to you. Secondly, you sat there and taunted Tevin about him getting kicked off of Twitch, which only makes people think that you really were, or you actually, well, it helps justify, I should say, people's opinions that you did have something to do with that. You did have something to do with Tevin and those other two guys getting dropped from the platform. Now, is this all surefire proof? No. But it damn sure is, it brings a little bit more evidence to light. It can allow people to really have a hardened look on him and be like, you know what? Phil did probably have something to do with that. In the same way that Rich from Review Tech USA had Dude's channel taken down, and Doyle's, and in the same way that that Monday Matt ended up having all of those guys' channels knocked down. Now, here's the thing about Monday Matt that people, now he's kind of just a meme, but Monday Matt had to have help too. Someone had to have helped Monday Matt take down all those channels. So I'm just putting it out there that if Monday Matt was able to convince Rich to be like, hey, help me flag these channels down, and, you know, Rich is like, well, sure, because you helped me out with a couple of these guys. I mean, it all goes hand in hand, does it not? Shouts out to this young kid, Diggs. He's a good pup. You know what I'm saying? He's making all this shit tie together really nicely. So he has good flow. I'll give him that. All right, let's go ahead and hear this again, and then let's see what else goes on afterwards.
Said detractors cannot restream DSP. Well, that's actually true, because the person who also always restreams all my shit, he can't restream because the fucking website doesn't work. So neener. Maybe if you were an idiot who got banned from Twitch, you'd be able to stream. But oh well, that's what you get for being a negative asshole.
Thank you, GTG. Welcome to What's the Diggs? My name is Diggs. This story was brought to us from Twitter, provided by Staronii112 and then Dehydrated Water. Staronii is the one who starts it off, basically saying, did you know that DSP recently dropped his trademark for Darkside Phil, the name of Darkside Phil? Apparently, this trademark was established on January 5th of 2011, but sadly, it was canceled on March 9th of 2018. The reasons are still up for grabs, and speculation will be running rampant, maybe. But let's talk about two things before we actually move on to the second part of this tweet. First is goods and services. Education services, namely providing non-downloadable videos in the field of video gaming. Everybody downloads Darkside Phil's videos or restreams it. It's kind of a thing. Anyway, and classification information. Education, providing training, entertainment, sports, and cultural activities. You heard that right. Well, let's just go ahead and move on. But then Dehydrated Water steps in and says that he has some information that he'd want to drop on us. It says, and this is concerning the trademark for DSP Gaming. Yes, Phil's flagship YouTube channel, probably the most successful channel out of any channel that he has ever made, and certainly his 10-year legacy. What is interesting is that the previous owner just recently, just up and abandoned the actual trademark, just out of nowhere. But what makes this story even more interesting, yet again provided to us by Dehydrated Water, is Phil actually filed for the trademark a few days before it was actually abandoned, which means Phil had to have been watching the trademark, or he at least was able to get in contact with whoever the trademark owner was and asked if they'd be willing to compromise, which actually means this guy made Phil pay out the ass to get the rights to what is his name, DSP Gaming. Going in further, Dehydrated Water elaborates and says it had to be an express abandonment. It's the only way to speed up the process. And as I had said previously, Phil must have had to pay a shitload of money to make all of this happen. And being that Phil is trying to consolidate, or at least I would perceive, him trying to consolidate everything he can under the umbrella of DSP Enterprises, it kind of makes sense. Except for one thing. Even though this is my first day on the job and I do not want to be fired, GTG, I have to do this because I know you're already thinking about it. Why would Phil give up the trademarks for Dark Side Phil and pick up DSP Gaming? More importantly than that, when DSP Gaming was initially...
That son of a goddamn bitch! Alright, I'm gonna let the kid slide. I'm gonna let the kid slide. He was clever. He was clever. One should not assume the thoughts of lions. But you can get that for now. You can get that for now, Cub. I'll catch you slipping later, though. I'm secretly rather proud, but still ragingly pissed off, too.
Introduced and established, why didn't he file for the trademark then? Or did someone just beat him to the punch? A very interesting story. Our thank yous go out to Staronii112 and Dehydrated Water on Twitter. GTG, can I... Okay, we will be putting all of the information to both of their tweets, or both of their Twitter accounts down in the description. Please check them out. And also to the links to both websites so you can see it, so you can see the information for yourself. Now, if I had to guess as it pertains to Darkside Phil, being that it is up for grabs, GTG will more than likely buy it. Or, if he wants to be a jerk, a cute jerk because he's a puppy, but a jerk nonetheless, he more than likely will go ahead and reach out to other detractors, pull money together so they can all own it. Because having having one detractor own it is already terrible. But to have a group of detractors own it would absolutely rip Phil apart. But what do I know? I just got hired. This is What is the Diggs? My name is Diggs. Back to you, GTG. Please don't fire me.
You damn right I might buy it. You damn right. Either that or I'll just reach out to some other people that I associate with and see if we all buy together. But yeah, I might consider doing that. And who wouldn't? Just to be an asshole. Just to be an asshole to the very name that you made you got 4th place at on Evo. Yeah, I want to fucking own that shit. And then relegate it down to whatever the fuck I feel like. Shit, I'm gonna turn that fucking piece of paper into a fucking coaster for my cappuccino and my bourbon. Be nice. I was thinking about framing it, but I might not do that now. We'll see. But in any case, shouts out yet again to Staronii112 and to Dehydrated Water for this. We're gonna look into this and whatnot. We might actually go over it again later on because this is pretty fascinating, to be honest with you. That Phil and DSP Enterprises and whatnot doesn't actually own everything to his air quote business. I'm just saying, sorry Phil, but you need to prioritize. And when a bitch get out of pocket, they need some discipline. So there you go with that.
Okay, kid, you're my last applicant for the day. I'm super tired, and I have to be completely and totally honest with you. Are you sure you're up for this? Because...
Okay, I guess actually that was the last bit, to be perfectly honest with you. The kid did alright, to be honest with you. Shouts out again to all the individuals who helped the kid bring the story together. Shit's super fucking fascinating. And we're going to get into the actual broadcast itself shortly. But thank you guys for listening in, giving the young pup about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. And I'll see you for the broadcast in literally just a second.
You see, it's like the farmer told a potato. I'll plant you now, dig you later. You see, we break them, then deflate them. You see, this battleship is battleship. And sometimes you got to blow them up to sink them. It took patience. I was staking, scouting, casing the durations between the couch potato window when the house was vacant, and it's pretty clear to me now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the broadcast. Shouts out to Diggs for this segment. All right, we are here, ladies and gentlemen, yet again. Snort, Burnell, DSP Gaming. People took my Patreon for granted, and King Tut is back. Here we go.
Warning everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
I like how you're laughing too.
Well, it's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, as of today, my office has been decorated with Halloween decorations for the rest of the month. So every single stream between now and the end of October, you will see some cool lighting and stuff behind me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Look at that. First off, why do you have lights up for Halloween? First off and foremost, unless you're planning on having trick-or-treaters or shit, and if that's the case, that's different, but you should have that outside. Two, why the fuck do you have lights, you know what I'm saying, over furniture? Like, do you not know that that shit's dangerous? That's a fire hazard, potentially? Three, this isn't decorations. This is sad. This is just sad. That's all this is. Like, literally, you could have taken some thumbtacks, and this could be, you know, strewed upon the wall or something. This should not be hanging over your fucking love seat. You goddamn Muppet. And I understand that the kitties like bright lights, but not this. This is almost as pathetic as that tree he has like a tree in the hallway. And they put like one thing of lights on it. Not around it, on it. And next to like a potted jack-o'-lantern. And that was it. This is sad. This is really... He was better off not even doing this. Saying that, oh, I don't have a lot of time to decorate. This right here is literally 5 minutes. And it's still dangerous. Go figure. Oh.
Like, there's no effort here at all.
Undoubtedly, with Red Dead Redemption 2 next week, I'm hoping things will actually pick up a little bit more. What I've noticed is that we've got, you know, a good amount of people who've been coming by the streams regularly, but sadly what happens is, as I play longer narrative-based games, the attendance and even the participation wanes.
That's your fault.
And, you know, I expect that. You know, I really do expect that. Like, I don't expect that I'm gonna get the same amount of people 2 weeks into a long-ass game as I did the first couple of streams, you know what I mean? And we're just in a situation here where there's so many games, it's very hard for me to play a game, you know, more than a couple times a week. And what I'm hoping is once Red Dead Redemption comes out, that's going to be my main focus, and hopefully that'll bring in naturally more people to come watch, you know what I mean?
Give me your money. Give me money.
Now let me get the cat out of the bag for just a second here. So he says he's banking on Red Dead Redemption, right? Okay. This video from Snort Burnell came out on like the 16th, I believe. Okay. Today, the 18th, he said he's buying Soul Calibur, and he only had enough money for Soul Calibur, and he doesn't have enough money to get Red Dead Redemption, even though he's about to get paid by Twitch literally at any fucking day now. Literally any fucking day now, he's gonna have the money for Red Dead Redemption, but right now, today, on the 18th, he's saying that he doesn't have the money for Red Dead Redemption. He chose between that and Soul Calibur. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
All right, we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. I am hoping for a strong finish to this month. All right, I am. Obviously, it would stink if here we are, the busiest gaming season of the year, but it slows down. When honestly, in the summer was actually better. But that was, I think, because we had a more dedicated fan base who were just appreciative that I was playing downtime stuff that they were picking for me to play in the summer and the like. Versus now I'm just kind of generically playing all the new releases. And, you know, especially, again, if they're longer, drawn-out releases, it's hard to retain that attendance. You know what I mean?
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
But anyway, let's go ahead and play it by ear. I'm certainly not complaining. I just hope that we can get things to be more consistent and or be a little bit picking up a little bit by the end of the month. Let's hope so, okay?
Oh my god, dude, just shut up. Just shut up and stop whining. Ugh. This guy constantly whining. Wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Oh my god. Genetic Gamer cheered. How much money would it take for you to be financially secure for the rest of your life? I have no idea. How much would it take to get Phil out of, being financially tight? Well, hey, $10,000, you gotta remember, a third of that goes to the government. So essentially it would be $6,666. Would help me a lot. It actually wouldn't even get me out of my tax situation right now, real talk, but it would help tremendously.
No one has any clue how to answer.
He kind of sounds like Wings of Redemption. People ask Wings that all the time, and Wings says almost the exact same thing. So that's funny.
That question. We don't know what's going to happen with the world economy. We don't know what inflation. There's no way to know how much money would make someone secure for the rest of their life. Okay. Sorry. Then he treated again. He says, "Do you think people will live for much longer in the future because of the advances of science? I would want to look and feel like a 20-year-old as a 50-year-old. Also, at what age do you think people?"
I don't know what the hell what he's talking about, but if someone gave you guys, let's say, between $500,000 and $1 million, with proper saving, investing, and just living within your fucking means, you'd be fine for the rest of your life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, investing helps by a lot. You can live off the interest of that. But if you use a little bit of common sense, $1 million, even $500,000 can take you a long way. It really can. But guess what? You're going to have to build upon it. It doesn't mean you get to sit there and live high on the hog. Sorry about that. You don't get to just slough it up for the rest of your life. You're probably still going to have to work. Actually, you probably should work, to be perfectly fucking honest with you. And you can still be straight. You can still be comfortable. You can be very comfortable. Just live within your means. And get yourself a nice little job on the side. You'll be fine.
Start noticing their mortality. For me, I'd probably say it was either my late 20s or early 30s when I started to feel a little old. For me, it happened earlier than most because of my back injury.
I used to have a really bad back injury. It was a severely herniated disc in my lower back to the point where I had numbness and pain and all kinds of stuff. I could barely move around for a year there. During my time when I was on YouTube doing stuff, I could barely even move because I was so messed up. And so when I moved out here to Seattle, I don't know what it was. It could have been my lifestyle changes. It could have just been going to a new area. I don't know, but I said, man, I don't know. The air out here is clean or whatever. I don't know what it is, but my back's better. Oh, the Seattle air healed his back. Once I started feeling my back injury, when I got really, really, really bad, that's kind of when I realized, damn, I'm mortal.
And I might live like this for the rest of my life. Thank God I did not, because I was really bad for a while there. But I would think for most people, probably mid to late 30s, when you're about to hit 40 years old, which they call over the hill, meaning basically you've lived more than half your life. And then people start to realize that's when people start having things like midlife crises and the like. But for me, it happened pretty early because, like I said, because of that back injury. Will people live much longer in the future because of advances of science? Yes and no. As technology and medicine advance, yeah, people will live longer. However, what's going to end up happening is as the resources of the planet start to wear out, as the natural climate of the planet heats up, you're going to end up in a situation where things aren't going to be as complacent anymore. You know, right now, a lot of us, especially in the United States, have this feeling of, safety and complacency because every day you can do what you do and come home and feel safe. And, you know, when resources start...
Phil's whole life is fucking complacent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you sit on your ass all day and play video games terribly and you beg people for money, you're fucking complacent. I don't want to hear shit about a fucking back injury because he was still able to walk around. He was still able to hop around. He was able to do his same pig-like shit. So he wasn't hurt, or at least he wasn't hurt as bad as he says he was, and whatnot. And even back in those days, Howard and John did all the heavy lifting for him. He walked around like he was Marie Antoinette and shit and did not a goddamn thing. Hence the reason why she lost her head. Phil's just been fortunate enough not to do that yet. But as his financial situation, especially over the past, past a week or two, has gotten worse, you would expect as much. But, and we'll talk about that as we get there, Tut is back. For whatever reason. In any case, he's already complacent. I'd say most of the people like himself are fucking complacent. So you're talking about, as, you know, you're talking about maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, Phil, you won't even be alive then. Most of you guys won't, as it pertains to, well, most of us. But I would say, you know, because what, the average life expectancy is between, what, 65 and 80, I guess? Some of us would be really old at that time. Well, in any case, really old. Phil definitely isn't going to make it that long. But anyway, I'm sorry. You're not going to be around for any of that anyway. And look at you. You're sitting there basically grooming kids to be pieces of shit like yourself. So, in a way, the 200 or 300 people who follow Phil, you know, his real hardcore fan base, ain't none of them going to make it to that point. And even if they did, they'd fuck it up. So it wouldn't matter either which way, to be honest. And then more importantly than that, sorry, how about maybe you, Phil, start taking care of yourself now? You're 36 and you look like you're like 40 plus. A really bad 40 plus. You could just take care of yourself now. You could literally make changes to your lifestyle and do it now. You think by systematically starving yourself and just living off of fucking gout tea, cherry juice, and fucking Kickstarter, Mountain Dew Kickstarter, and you drop yourself 10 fucking pounds, that means anything? That means it doesn't mean a goddamn thing at all. You're still unhealthy as shit. And you don't think those fucking energy drinks aren't going to catch up to you? They will, because you're not active. You're not doing enough. And you certainly don't drink enough water to offset the energy drinks. And go ahead and think that cherry juice is going to keep you at bay. If I had to guess, just some of the stuff in the energy drinks itself would automatically screw that over, at least in the long term. It's going to catch up to you eventually. It's just the way life works. So, but maybe, just maybe, instead of you guys waiting for the medication to get up to par, maybe, just maybe, personal responsibility is a fucking factor in this equation. Maybe you should start taking care of yourself now, while you can. Because one day, Phil, you're going to get up out of bed and realize you really can't move. You really can't walk with the spring in your step anymore because the gout got you. And then you can't go out there and try to walk it off then because it's already too late. You think about that now. In like 2 or 3 more years, when you wake up and your whole leg is fucking swollen, you're going to think about this moment because I want you to remember it. DSP News.
To get scares, things ain't so safe anymore. More crime, more violence, more civil unrest, and unless we find ways to curtail the fact that we have exponential population growth yet diminishing resources, I exactly don't see how this living is going to continue. So even though technically with science and medicine and everything advancing, yeah, people should be living longer, it may be completely opposite where there's just not enough to go around and the world becomes a very unsafe place. Much like it was back in the day when we were cavemen and people would live to the age of like 20. So, I don't know. I know that's a pretty grim worldview, but hey, it could happen. All right?
My opinion...
Well, here's the thing then. I don't know about the whole caveman thing. I'm pretty sure they lived past the age of 20, but I do know life was super fucking harsh. But that's neither here nor there, and I don't know enough about that to speak on that with any full details. As it pertains to civil unrest and everything, how safe do you really think you are, Phil, being that, realistically speaking, those in gated communities would be some of the first targets? Just saying. So how safe are you going to be? But let's not talk about your personal safety for a minute. Let's talk about your status in life, your lifestyle. How are you going to keep up with that, Phil, when people realize that they don't have fucking time to go to streams and watch stupid fucking YouTube videos? Myself, my YouTube videos included. What are you going to do then? And more importantly, unlike the rest of us who have jobs and actually have money put away and shit like that, you don't have any of that. Or we'll find out that you had way more put away, I should say, than most. Which means that you were lying to these kids, and when they're in a fucked up situation, how quickly are you going to be to help them? Are you going to listen to their pleas and come to their rescue? Are you going to contribute and support when these guys who gave you so much for so long really need it? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very fucking interesting, because that's only going to add to the disdain, what's going to only add to the desperation, which means that some of these guys might actually show up to your doorstep. You're going to need a whole lot more than that axe next to the front door and then the one outside your bedroom door, buddy. You're going to need a whole lot more than that. And if I had to guess, Kat probably locks her door to her office/bedroom when she comes home. So, good luck with that, Philly boy. Good luck with that. DSP News.
The only opinion. It's the right opinion. T-Dubs Charity says, I got a laugh reading the comments of people complaining about your Halloween setup. I think it looks great. What the hell do they expect you? You only have a tiny little space to fill on camera. Did they expect a life-size Dracula and Fog with hired zombies to play as actors? The people who are criticizing it are assholes.
Oh, you're getting salt. It's even now, again, my mouth overpowered.
Now, I want you to see how mindless this idiot is, being that the majority of people who are talking about it are within his own fan base. The detractors are just making fun of it and pointing out the fact that that shit's a safety hazard. But it's his fan base that are saying that it looks thrown together and it looks tacky. Because, guess what, Phil? It is. And more importantly, it is dangerous. Just like when the SOK saw you scraping your pans with the metal scraper instead of you using plastic or wood. The metal shards were going into your food. And they were trying to help you out. You might not remember that. Allow me to reintroduce that to you later on down the line, Phil. DSP News.
Flavor.
No one legitimately is going to criticize a few lights that I set up in my office for a little bit of a festive atmosphere for a holiday. And it's not like I was saying, oh, I'm directly using the income from subs to finance all of these decorations. It's nothing like that. He's a piece of crap. He's a lying piece of crap. It was just a fun thing to say, okay, let's do a sub goal. If we get the sub goal, I'll do something silly in the office to celebrate the holiday, right? But you're right. People are just assholes. They were going to criticize it no matter what. If I did have human actors walking around as zombies during my gameplay, they would still criticize it anyway. Because they're shitheads. Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic. Yep, I'm toxic. Definitely as a person, I've grown, I've changed, I've become way more mature, that's for sure. They exist solely to shit on things. That's why they're called shitheads. So ignore the shitheads. You gotta listen to me and not listen to the people who spin what I say.
Okay. Science Vice Cheers says we'll be playing Call of Cthulhu on PS4. It's out the day before Halloween, so it seems like a perfect game to play. Last time I checked, it didn't have a release date, and I checked just like a week or two ago on PlayStation Network, and it did not have a release date at all. So unless that's updated recently, I don't think it's coming out the day before Halloween. However, the games I'm playing on Halloween are dependent on what people nominate, which they're working on right now. In fact, this Sunday, I'm going to turn their nominations into a poll that they'll then vote on for about a week and a half to determine what games I'll be playing on Halloween. It's out of my hands.
I am not choosing the games, the patrons are. So I keep explaining to people how important it is for you guys to become patrons. You don't seem to understand.
No, what happened is they seen you play bait and switch with the fucking Patreon, like for the last, since you damn near started it. You played you've screwed over people on Patreon a bunch of times. And so they don't see a point to contributing to it because guess what? It don't mean nothing. And more importantly than that, as I've said before, his Patreon is really linked to his YouTube channel more than anything. And when I say that, I mean that his Patreon used to be generally associated with what he did on YouTube. So that's the mindset people keep. That's it. And more importantly than that, there used to be games that used to win on Patreon and he wouldn't play them. He would switch them off with something else. He's done that before. There's no point in contributing to his Patreon, especially for these holiday events. They decline almost every year. And for good reason, especially last year. Last year's fucking shenanigans with Patreon and the bullshit that went along with that. Don't worry, we have the video coming before Halloween. We'll go into that, hopefully. We'll go into that a little bit further. And so some of the fans from last year who remember going through that nonsense with Patreon are going to look at this year and be like, fuck that. It's just not worth doing. But that's neither here nor there. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But it certainly is not worthwhile. But he's desperate for money right now, so he needs to shill Patreon. And he hasn't been doing it at the level he used to. So people aren't, not the incentive, but people aren't nearly as urgent to do it. And more importantly than that, people sit there and tip him and do cheers and shit so he can get the money right away that way. Just saying. Well, maybe not cheers. What is it? If you, Jesus, not sub. You got cheers, bits, subs. There's one more thing, but like one or two of those things he gets right away. He literally gets it that day. So Had a bit of a brain fart.
That these big, ginormous events that will get hundreds or thousands of viewers on stream for 7 plus 8 hours, right?
Thousands. No. He'll be. I would be surprised if he could pull 500, especially as of lately. The last week or so, he hasn't broken 500. He's barely breaking 4. And we're talking about on the main stream, the one during the day. The one at night's even worse. You know what I'm saying? Tevin, praise be almighty, is killing him. Literally. At every stop. And even the days that Tevin isn't streaming, his Phil's views are still down. So trust me, he's in way more trouble than he's letting on.
By like a small handful of people. If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon, you have these capabilities. You could pledge as much as you want. The highest perk level I'll give you is $50, but you could pledge more than that if you want. And pledge today. My favorite perk is the $5 perk. A $5 sub club. And people take that shit for granted. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. Oh, I want to see Phil play this game. Okay.
No, it's a huge deal for you. There's no real incentive for the fan base. Because if you could veto basically what their votes are, then what's it matter? Or if you're going to play a game half-ass anyway and then quit it halfway through, then it doesn't matter. There is no payoff for them. And it seems like some of them are starting to smarten up and realize that. And that is a good thing.
Why didn't you pledge $5 and become a patron? It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control, right? You could have had that. You could have seen me play it. But people just take it for granted and think that like it's not worth it, when in reality it's one of the biggest assets you can have if you want to be an interactive part of my stuff and see me play certain things. You got to become a patron, okay? All right, Samantha Birmingham was gifted a tier 3 sub by Tutankhamun. For me, thank God. Thank you. Thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you. Really, thank you.
Now, whoever King Tut is, right? And whatever the motivation is behind his return, going into the holiday season, you're going to see Phil depend on him more than ever. You're going to see Phil literally do whatever King Tut wants him to. You know what I mean? And despite the shots people are taking at Tut, and for good reason, Tut is really going to be marching to Phil's drum. Or vice versa, and Phil is going to march to Tut's drum. Either way, it's going to be bad. But for Phil, and given his desperation, I have to say that Tut picked the right time to show back up. And I'm anxious to see what he does with it. What he does with his newfound control financially. Because there's nobody that can out-cheer him, outbid him. You know, he's still giving gifted subs like crazy. There's nobody that can literally stop Tut but himself. Kinda. If Swaggins is motivated, if there's a will, there's a way. So you gotta watch Swaggins too to see what his deal is. But should be interesting nonetheless.
Get down on my hands and knees and say thank you and still be on camera, I would do it. Okay, I seriously would do it. So congratulations to Samantha, and thank you to Tutankhamun yet again for the support. Came in and was actually being, quite nice, chatting it up earlier. And he's gone for the day, says he's going to sleep or whatever. But thank you, Tutankhamun, for the support. Appreciate that. And if I look down at the stream chat and everything is...
And that's another thing too. Despite Phil's it's almost like Phil has curbed his jealousy because he needs Tut back, and that's why the King Tut and DSP email exchange would be very interesting, because I bet you anything Phil's desperation over the span of, I don't know, what was it, 2 weeks Tut was gone, I guess? I thought I had it written down here somewhere. Would be fascinating. Basically from the 4th of October till the 15th. I bet you anything the desperation there was literally ramped up to its fullest. Please come back, I'll make sure no one bothers you. You know, I just really need your support on stream, not just financially, but for for just the morality of the actual chat itself. You know what I mean? For people to show up. I need you now. I need you now. Even though he talked all that hot shit about banning anybody who said chat. Banning anybody in the chat who said Tut. Saying that Tut isn't the reason why you guys are here. You're here for me. So on and so forth. Look how quick the pig changed. Look how quick he turned from a slab of ham into bacon. Literally just like that. Someone pour some maple syrup on that boy. Make it happen.
Tut, 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 tut. It's going to be ban, 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 and then we're going to continue on like normal fucking humans and not idiots.
So here's the deal. First of all, I couldn't get the WWE videos fully uploaded. They are uploaded to YouTube, but I couldn't do thumbnails. I couldn't put them in a playlist. I couldn't really do anything because when I got back from my dinner break and went to do said stuff, YouTube is down completely. YouTube is wrecked. It will not load pages. It will not load videos. It won't even load the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know, that I normally do to get videos set up and the like. Even that stuff won't load. Like, nothing will load on the site. So, obviously, they fucked up. What else is new? I mean, let's be honest here. What else is new?
Ow! Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? Why'd you just go to bite Mommy? Wow. Alright, so you see what pigs can do.
At least today isn't a big new release day. That's a good thing, because if it didn't happen on a new release day, it could have been disastrous. Thank God it's not. So I will, after this stream ends, do my best to go back and hopefully let's see if YouTube works.
And Snort Burnell's right. He does always bite the hand that feeds him, but he's very comfortable on his knees, though. He's very, very comfortable on his knees, so he's willing to make amends. So, at least he has that going for him.
You know, and go from there. What's hilarious is that someone just said, detractors cannot restream DSP.
Well, that's actually true, because the person who also always restreams all my shit, he can't restream because the fucking website doesn't work. So, neener. Maybe if you were an idiot who got banned from Twitch, you'd be able to stream. But, oh well, that's what you get for being a negative asshole. Excuse me, guys. That was disgusting and unprofessional. Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic.
Now, here's the thing about that. That's actually relatively dishonest because Tevin was doing his own thing over there. You know what I mean? He was having his own game playthroughs. Shit, if Tevin was still streaming over there, he'd be beating Phil's numbers, whether he's on YouTube or Twitch. So to say that he was restreaming your stuff on YouTube, especially, you know, I mean, I think Tevin stopped that a little while ago after he got hit the first time for that on Twitch, for that bullshit harassment thing. After that, he went ahead and did his own content, and it was great. And the numbers were slowly but surely building. And then all of a sudden, this pig over here, this pig roach behind the scenes, basically cried and begged the Twitch on his knees, because that's the new tactic now, and did what he did, and eventually they got Tevin and two other gentlemen kicked off for no good reason, just because. It's rather pathetic. All because you have an individual, you have an opinion on an individual who is constantly fucking up, who is constantly screwing up, and then has to beg children for money. There's probably nobody on Twitch, even amongst the Twitch thoughts, that demand money as much as Darkside Phil does. And he wonders why his viewership is in decline. He's wondering why he's not getting as many subs and donations. I saw a stream the other day where he was on for like 3 or 4 hours and there was no interaction at all. Not only from a financial standpoint, but there was really nobody talking in the chat. And what did Phil look like? He looked like a pig in the headlights. He looked like a pig that was getting ready to be thrown into the wood chipper. He looked lost and scared. You better get used to it, because that might end up being his future if something doesn't really change. DSP News.
Alright, so, Poopster Cheered says, what's the hardest part about running your business? I don't think people realize the massive amount of behind-the-scenes work. Honestly, there's a lot of things that are tough. The scheduling, trying to make everyone happy.
First off, he doesn't make anybody happy. Well, let's jump back. First off, he makes his own schedule. James the Lesser, as well as Lightside Bill, a bunch of people point that shit out. The guy completely structures his own day. He makes his own schedule. He sets up when he wants to start and when he decides to end it, and so on and so forth. If you guys see, his streams at night are carrying on longer and longer. Maybe because Kat ain't home. Maybe because Kat is having a good time with Jim, getting worked out. I mean, Lord knows that girl needs to stay limber. In any case, so there's the first thing. Fuck your schedule, Phil. You can do what you want. Second thing, making people happy. if you were actually making people happy, you'd have more viewership. You'd have more people willing to contribute, Phil, instead of you bowing down to one person. They would be contributing to you willingly because they want to see the product move forward. They want to believe in the product. You're not having that. Let's go ahead and continue and hear the rest of his excuses.
A variety of viewers. It's not just one niche. It's a variety of viewers who watch my stuff. Staying in line with terms of service of these new websites that change and everything, like Twitch's terms of service this year that changed. I got in trouble a couple times. I had to adjust myself. That was a pain.
That was a pain because, I can't make fun of everybody who comes across my path? Oh, yeah, Phil, it's so hard. Instead of you concentrating on the game, you got to shit on people in the comment section. Yeah, that was such an adjustment, especially since you're still doing it. It's just you're not pointing out what they look like physically. Because that one guy actually had his profile picture was actually what the guy looked like. And so you attacked it. You saw an opportunity, and you just couldn't help but to lick your grimy, nasty little gout-ridden chops and went after him like an idiot, and you got smacked for it. And then tried to come up with the cover story that, I did nothing wrong. And then, they should have notified me before they took me down. They should have just taken me down in the middle of my stream. They should have told me. They don't got to tell you shit. They don't owe you any explanation. You fucked up. You got slapped. Period. Similar to what you wanted to do to that 11-year-old girl who sat there because you were fucking around and you didn't know how the protocol worked. So she smacked. And you wanted to smack her too. You remember that, right, Phil? That alleged situation that never really happened. So people made videos of it and shit, and you still denied it. And then you had to come around later on and say, I was just joking. They just took it out of context. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Let's continue.
Dealing with things like not only do I have to deal with the stream and everything, then after that I have to deal with the YouTube nonsense on the back end. Obviously, that one of the most annoying things is when people try to fuck with me, outside the streams. Let's get Phil banned from Twitch and YouTube for doing nothing, just because we try to abuse the systems, or let's try to ruin a sponsorship opportunity for Phil just because we can. That stuff's really fucking annoying, But the fact that I get to do a fun job for a living, something that I would have done as a hobby anyway, as a job, and, make my own schedule, those are things that are benefits. So it evens out,
What's up, everybody? How you like the pumpkin lights behind me? No. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh!
Now, how is it that a man who literally has all the control he wants, because this is a business, right? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be a business. Yet he has all these excuses on why shit can't get done. All these roadblocks and everything for someone who runs his own business. Imagine that. Imagine it being so tough that you're not actually in control of your business. One would say that you're actually working a job and that you're actually responsible to other people. That doesn't sound like owning a business to me. Don't get me wrong, owning a business, you're still obligated to your clients, but it sounds to me like you just work a job. It sounds to me that you depend on other people to cut you a check. And more importantly than that, you're not just a pig with a job, but you're a roach who has to beg. So you have to beg and plead for compensation for your salary. And maybe if you worked a little harder, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Oh, that'd be asking too much though, wouldn't it? For shame. For shame. But ladies and gentlemen, this right here is a 10-year legacy, a successful business. Yeah, I can see it. I've been doing everything wrong. I mean, all the long hours that I put in, all the days of going in early, me picking up projects that I didn't need to do, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All the traveling that I had to do for my job, that didn't mean a goddamn thing. I was doing it wrong. I was playing it backwards. So was everybody else, apparently. James Lester was doing it wrong. We're all doing it wrong. We're doing it absolutely wrong. We should just all sit here and stream lackluster shit and beg for money all day and make $100,000 a year. Who knew? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just can't do it. For some reason, I know it's going to sound silly, but for some reason, though, self-respect, self-dignity, and pride mean a little too much to me. If people want to give you money on the internet, that's fine, but that's because you earned it. You shouldn't have to feel the need to beg for it. I'm sorry, I can't do that. My soul's worth more than a couple of bucks. My integrity is worth more than a couple of dollars, too. That's just me, though. Like I said, I'm doing it wrong. So it is what it is. Well, whatever it takes, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network and Productions. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. And thank you to everybody yet again that helped the young pup Diggs with his early segment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, see you guys for the next one and the broadcast.
Finger on the button, just pointing out my advantages. Dancing with your dreams, I focus the beam. Anakin, steady as a mannequin, standing stiff as the planet spin. Camping in, out of your mind, woke in the ambulance. Did his best in there with a champion.